Tonight, on First at 9 this Friday the 23rd of January 2026. Festering wounds. GMOA commences 48-hour token strike. Health Minister slams the GMOA over unfair union action despite salary increments and other benefits. Pursuit of truth. CID misleading quote on education reform controversy, trade union alleges. Satyagraha continues demanding implementation of grade 6 modules. Taking a stand. Government committed to upholding independence of the Attorney General's office, Justice Minister assures in Parliament. Hunting fortunes. Ex-TRCSL Director General arrested over corruption-related allegations. 46 million rupees in unexplained wealth robbed.
Kalin baby soap rupial anuwakata. Kalin baby podi hamotamai.
This is Derana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to First at 9 on the Derana News channel. I'm Aditya Adrisinghe joining you live with the latest in Sri Lanka and around the world, brought to you by the only Sri Lankan media network to rise to the pinnacle across all media platforms, recognized as the best by every survey and beloved by the people. Now, your top story tonight, the Government Medical Officers Association's 48-hour token strike commenced today over the government's failure to address key issues grappling the health sector and medical professionals. Speaking in Parliament, Minister of Health and Mass Media Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa highlighted that the strikes were launched despite recent wage increments for medical professionals.
The Government Medical Officers Association previously launched trade union action alleging that the 2026 budget failed to provide adequate solutions to issues affecting the health sector and medical professionals. However, the trade union action was temporarily suspended on November 28 based on several concessions and agreements provided in writing by the Minister of Health and Mass Media. The concessions included obtaining approval for a cabinet paper drafted with the consent of all stakeholders to establish a special service category titled Sri Lanka Medical Service, comprising doctors of all categories, updating the DAT allowance for doctors, resolving transportation-related issues pursuant to Circular 22/99, converting the additional duty allowance into a fixed allowance, and addressing issues related to the research allowance. Accordingly, the GMOA stated that discussions were held with the Ministry of Finance on January 5th to resolve these issues within a specific time frame. However, since no satisfactory solutions were facilitated, the Executive Council of the Government Medical Officers Association decided to implement a 48-hour island-wide token strike. The strike commenced today at 8 a.m. The association emphasized that the strike would not affect maternity and children's hospitals, kidney hospitals, cancer hospitals, military hospitals, or the National Institute of Mental Health. The GMOA further stated that emergency and essential medical services would continue throughout the token strike period. However, the strike that began this morning disrupted operations at several government hospitals, including the National Hospital of Colombo. Meanwhile, several activists filed a complaint with the Human Rights Commission against the strike launched by the Government Medical Officers Association. The complaint alleged that the association must hold discussions with the government without initiating strikes. As the GMOA strike launched in full swing, the Association of Medical Specialists revealed its stance on the matter.
GMOA එකෙන් ක්‍රියාත්මක වන ඉගෙන යන වැඩවර්ජනයට විශේෂඥ වෛද්‍යවරුන්ගේ සංගමයෙන් සහභාගයක් නැහැ. ඒක මම පැහැදිලිව කියන්න කැමතියි. අපේ කිසිම සමාජිකයෙක් මේ වැඩවර්ජනයට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
විශේෂඥ වෛද්‍යවරුන්ගේ සංගමය
The Association of Medical Specialists is a minor association representing not even 20% of the country's specialists. Despite claims on the contrary, the routine and daily services of the country's healthcare system have stalled due to this strike. This is the first strike we have initiated in the past 1.5 2.5 years. 10 days before this strike, we informed the Minister of Health and the government of our stance. Even the President was informed of this strike before it was initiated. Instead of engaging in discussions, the Minister cries in Parliament seeking sympathy. We need ministers who are willing to resolve these issues.
Meanwhile, Minister of Health and Mass Media Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa also commented on the GMOA.
The Government Medical Officers Association commenced strikes at several institutions, including the Dehiyattakandiya Base Hospital, over the transfer of 2 doctors. One of these strikes concerns the transfer of a doctor who has served at the hospital for 18 years. That is, in our view, not fair. Another GMOA strike was initiated at the Akkarepattu Base Hospital, demanding the transfer of the medical superintendent. Hospital staff complained that it was difficult to work with the medical superintendent. Therefore, he was temporarily removed from his duties pending the completion of investigations. Yesterday, another strike was suddenly launched at the National Eye Hospital. You may have seen the reactions of patients. Their outrage is justified. The issue arose following an audit query which revealed that the approved cadre allows only 121 doctors, while 125 doctors were currently serving at the hospital. As a result, 2 doctors were transferred. One of them was Dr. S.P. Kolambage, who has been serving at the hospital since July 18, 2013. He is an executive committee member of the Government Medical Officers Association. The hospital director consulted all specialist doctors in every unit and approved the transfer, ensuring that services would not be disrupted. After 13 years, the government planned to implement transfers for all doctors in December. However, at the request of the Government Medical Officers Association, we postponed the transfer dates on 4 occasions. Our intention was to carry out these transfers without disrupting the health sector. Despite these efforts, and after granting salary increments, steering the country out of an economic crisis, and just 50 days after a national disaster, it is unfair to launch a 48-hour token strike, holding patients hostage while making unreasonable economic demands. I am grateful that the country's medical specialists are not participating in this strike, and that several doctors have also chosen not to participate. Salaries owed to doctors have now been increased. Doctors who previously earned 237,520 rupees under the previous government will now receive 272,575 rupees, while others will also receive higher salaries. As the economy continues to recover, further benefits will follow. Therefore, I urge the Government Medical Officers Association to halt all strikes that reduce patients to bargaining tools.
ඔබේ සම හඳුනාගෙන ඖෂධීය ශාකසාරමේ forever face wash එකක් භාවිතා කරන්න.
A serious allegation was raised in court today over the Criminal Investigation Department's purported attempt to mislead the judiciary by submitting investigation reports with inconsistent page numbers related to the controversial Grade 6 English module. These allegations were made by an education sector trade union that filed a motion today to present further facts on the Grade 6 education module when the relevant criminal complaint was taken up before the Gangodawila Magistrates Court today.
The Satyagraha launched by the Parents and Teachers Collective of Galle continued today for the 4th consecutive day, demanding the immediate implementation of the proposed Grade 6 modules. The module system was postponed off the back of several controversial concerns, including the inclusion of a website deemed unsuitable for children. Furthermore, concerns were raised on a purported misdirection of court perpetrated by the Criminal Investigation Department, probing the inclusion of a website deemed unsuitable for children within the Grade 6 module. Meanwhile, Venerable Ulapane Sumangalathero, chairman of the Association of Education Professionals, appearing as an aggrieved party, submitted a motion to the Magistrates Court today over the same concern.
Off the back of a complaint lodged by the Secretary to the Ministry of Education concerning the education reforms, the Criminal Investigation Department filed a B report at the Gangodawila Magistrates Court. Since we were not satisfied by the facts presented to court, we filed a separate motion seeking an opportunity to present further facts. I was the first to lodge a complaint. However, the CID reported facts only on the complaint filed by a man who should stand accused over this matter. When an ordinary man is being prosecuted, the CID overwhelms the defense with a plethora of laws and ordinances. However, the B report filed in this instance is extremely simplistic. We moved the Magistrates Court to summon the CID next Friday. We sought a court order directing the police to familiarize itself with the facts we presented in court and to probe them accordingly. While urging for a response for the concerns we raised, we also urged the prosecution to seek the Attorney General's instruction allegations in this regard. A similar case was filed against Keheliya Ramukwella. There too, the Secretary to the Ministry of Health filed the complaint. However, as the investigation progressed, Ramukwella, the Secretary and several other officials were implicated. The Minister, the Secretary and all relevant officials must be arrested and produced before court. If not, all available evidence will be destroyed. The CID seems to be laundering the government's image.
The Criminal Investigation Department misled court completely. They reported to court a reference made to buddy.net on pages 47 and 48 of the grade 6 English module. However, we produced in court pages 51 and 52, which are the pages that carry this reference. Accordingly, we brought this factual misdirection to the attention of the magistrate. Subsequently, notices were issued to the CID.
Now, the second reading of the Universities Amendment Act was passed in Parliament today with amendments. Prime Minister Dr. Haruni Amarasuriya, who joined the debate, questioned the opposition's delay in tabling the motion of no confidence against her over the proposed education reforms. Meanwhile, responding to a query by opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, Minister of Justice Harshana Nanayakkara assured that the government is committed to upholding the independence of the Attorney General's office.
Is the position of Attorney General an independent government office? The AG is vested with quasi-judicial powers. Has the government created the environment for him to uphold the rule of law? Do you accept that a premeditated wave of criticism has arisen targeting the Attorney General's conduct? What is the government's stance on the matter? To ensure the independence of the office of the Attorney General, the government is taking progressive and responsible steps pursuant to constitutional provisions and existing legislation. Although the government has observed the criticism circulating on social media directed at the Attorney General's conduct, there is no proof of the factuality of such opinions. We also understand that people are entitled to the freedom of expression. If at any point it is observed that these opinions influence the independence of the office of the Attorney General, the government will take all possible steps to ensure the AG's independence in accordance with the law. Previous governments stoned judges' houses, displayed defamatory posters against them and impeached former Chief Justice Shirani Bandaranayake. This government will not act in that manner, only in accordance with the law. You took a stand to safeguard the Attorney General's independence, but in doing so you laid yourself open to attack. It is being said that you are protecting your drinking partner. Please check which websites and independent news outlets are attacking you. He is being slandered by the websites of his own party. The Attorney General's independence and impartiality are crucial for this country's democratic process. I appreciate the Justice Minister taking a stand in defense of the Attorney General's independence. I propose that all 225 MPs take the same stance. I am not alone in defending the independence of the office of the Attorney General. All 159 of our MPs and the President share this position. Numerous opinions based on unsubstantiated claims circulate on social media. We are not obligated to address all of them. I was given a ministerial portfolio not by social media but the President. If I am laxed in my duties, the President will let me know. This government will uphold the rule of law and protect the independence of all government officers, not just the Attorney Generals. Concurrently, we will not hesitate to take action against wrongdoing, regardless of the wrongdoer's position. The Minister of Health is facing a cruel joke of fate. When the GMOA initiated strikes during our tenure, we requested them not to take patients hostage. Today, Health Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa is making the same plea. The Health Minister's main concern is that he does not have enough time to focus on his own ministry. Even now, he is running with textbooks in hands to put out fires at the Education Ministry. This is the current reality for many ministers. They are not executing the duties of their ministry. Minister Lal Kanta is fulfilling the responsibilities of the ministries of Buddha Sasana and Education. Yesterday, Deputy Minister Mahinda Jayasinghe lectured us on the word buddy. He claimed that eBuddy.net is a web link. It is not. It is a communication tool, an app in short. There is no point in further discussing Mahinda Jayasinghe, who cannot distinguish an app from a web link.
The National People's Power will never politicize education. The opposition is exploiting the education sector for political gain, which we condemn. We request the opposition not to sabotage productive education reform. Do not politicize education.
Recently, Minister Lanka claimed that although they established a government, they are yet to secure the power of the state. Does securing state power involve the 1.3 million government employees becoming members of their party? Does it involve appointing attorney generals and auditor generals as they please? There has been no auditor general for nearly 2 months, and the work of the committees on public enterprises and public accounts has stalled. I make this an opportunity to thank the President for his speech in Jaffna. A large contingent of the opposition distorted the content of his speech. The President did not ask Buddhists not to visit Nagadeepa or any other temple in the north. A group was manufacturing controversy over a particular temple. We know who is behind this and who led that group during the tenure of the SLPP government. We opposed it back then. The President criticized that particular group. He did not claim that Sinhalese were pilgrimaging Nagadeepa as an act of spite. The President's speech demonstrated his strength of character.
There was a mistake in one grade 6 module. We accepted it and took steps to correct it as a responsible government. However, the opposition attempted to exploit that mistake to oust the government. They threatened to impeach the Prime Minister, but it seems as if they have withdrawn that motion. When do you intend to table it? I rushed here to face the no confidence motion. Where is it? Will you not table it? What a shame. We are ready for it. You need not table no confidence motions. When the people of this country decide the Prime Minister should step down, we will comply. We are accountable to the people and our consciences. We will continue to work accordingly.
Leader of the Sarvajana Balaya, parliamentarian Dilith Jayavira, claims that it is difficult to have faith in the country's democracy in light of some appalling statements made by certain cabinet ministers. He made these remarks at the Sarvajana Balaya party headquarters today.
මේ රටේ කීර්තිමත් ආයතනයක් වුණ නීතිපති දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ
The Attorney General's Department is an esteemed institution. Attempts are being made to oust the Attorney General, a respected professional, by inciting protests under false pretenses. Some of these protests are conducted on social media, while others are planned near the Halsdorf Court complex. Are they trying to interfere with the Attorney General's department? We must not undermine this esteemed institution. It is clear that these actions seek to manipulate public opinions against the Attorney General and ultimately remove him through an impeachment. While this continues, a cabinet minister stated that the government could attack anyone disregarding their status in society. This is not just a typical attack. He says it is akin to a punch by Bruce Lee, which is formidable and not easily countered. Who is being targeted? It is the majority. If a cabinet minister acts in this manner, what expectations can we have for the state of our democracy?
අපේ රටේ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදය ගැන අපිට තියාගන්න පුළුවන් බලාපොරොත්තු කුමක්ද?
Minister Lal Khanta's fiery remarks on the seizing of state power continue to fan the political flames today.
It is indeed wrong for the government to exert pressure against the Attorney General. It is also wrong for the government to impose itself upon the judiciary. The government intends to stack top officers of the police service, the CID and the Bribery Commission with their political aides. By doing so, the government plans to manipulate the law and suppress opposition. Governance of this nature is never good. If the people revolt against these measures, Sri Lanka will suffer a fate worse than it did in 2022. They seek state power now, complaining government power to be insufficient. To that end, the government seeks to stack the state apparatus with JVP supporters. They want subservient attorney generals and auditor generals. Similarly, they intend to stack the police, the military and the entire state infrastructure with subservient officials. They want JVP members everywhere. Then and only then can they claim state power. What they suggest, in essence, is single-party tyranny. Even at the moment, they seek to expand their power into the state sector. If the JVP is allowed to stack the entire state infrastructure, Sri Lanka's downfall is certain. We will regress into the dark ages. That is what Lal Khanta's remarks suggest. We see those remarks as an admission of incompetence. The government seeks to set up a state party. Minister Lal Khanta claims that the state should be seized. Attempts are underway to set up JVP judiciaries, auditor generals and a JVP police force. The government seeks to take over the state entirely. This is eerily similar to what the LTTE wanted. When they said that they intend to fight the cloak, what they suggested was their intention to attack the law. They said that they had no concern for the clergy too. This means they intend to attack religion as well. They also expressed their desire to attack race. What they indirectly suggest is that they will attack race, religion, culture and law to protect their regime. Certain mishaps can occur here and there. Short circuits are very common and they can be easily repaired. Similarly, all mistakes can be fixed.
Welcome back. Now, former TRCSL Director General Anusha Palpita joined a long list of influential bureaucrats put behind bars over corruption-related allegations and investigations. The Bribery Commission today arrested Palpita as part of investigations into his 46 million rupee fortune, which is said to be far in excess of his earning capacity between 2012 and 2014.
The Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption today summoned Anusha Palpita, the former Director General of the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission. Palpita was summoned as such to record a statement as part of an investigation launched consequent to a tip-off received by the Bribery Commission. Soon after Palpita's statement ended, the Commission proceeded to arrest the suspect. Justifying the arrest, the Bribery Commission cited several facts uncovered during the course of pertinent investigations and complained that the suspect has generated a vast portfolio of wealth far exceeding his income. The suspect was later produced before Colombo magistrate Asanga S. Bodharagama. At the Magistrates' Court, the Bribery Commission revealed that initial investigations were launched over corruption allegations subsequent to a complaint being lodged in March of 2015. The Commission went on to reveal that since 2015, the suspect was summoned from time to time to record statements, obtain affidavits and other related documents. Drawing attention to facts uncovered during the course of investigations, the Bribery Commission complained that from the 31st of March 2012 until the 31st of March 2014, the suspect generated a portfolio of wealth valued at 46 million rupees, far exceeding his legitimate stream of income. However, according to the Bribery Commission, the suspect has failed to disclose how this sum of 8 million rupees was generated. Over these concerns, the Bribery Commission asserted the need to record statements from the suspect's wife, his brother-in-law and sister-in-law. Making further submissions in court, the Bribery Commission pointed out the possibility of suspect obstructing witness testimony if he is enlarged on bail. Therefore, the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption moved court to order that the suspect be placed in remand custody. However, Defence Counsel Kanchana Ratwatte objected to the assertions made by the prosecution, citing the full support given by his client during the course of the entire investigation. The Defence Counsel went on to assert that his client provided the relevant documents 11 years ago and that he has never coerced any witnesses. Meanwhile, documents on the income gathered by the suspect during the time in question were produced in open court today by the Defence Counsel. Relying on the documents tendered, counsel representing Palpita moved the Magistrates' Court for bail, citing the lack of evidence to warrant the suspect's detention. Considering submissions made by both parties, the magistrate noted that grievance aired by the Bribery Commission on suspect's refusal to answer certain questions posed by investigating authorities. Under these circumstances, the magistrate opined that the suspect could coerce witness testimony. Therefore, the Magistrates' Court denied the request for bail, notwithstanding the bailable nature of the offence alleged by the prosecution. Accordingly, the Magistrates' Court ordered that the suspect be placed in remand custody until the 6th of February, while also instructing the Bribery Commission to expedite investigations.
Welcome back. Now in your business news, the third phase of the East Terminal at the Port of Colombo commenced operations today. A vessel from a major shipping company arrived at the jetty to mark the commencement of operations. This phase, which includes 12 gantry cranes and 40 automated yard cranes, will further strengthen the Port of Colombo's operations as a regional shipping hub. The East Terminal is being developed on a 75-hectare site and will have a total length of 1,320 meters. Of these, 1,090 meters, representing 82% of the overall construction, has been completed. In 2025, the Eastern Terminal handled more than 500,000 containers and is expected to handle up to 1.5 million containers once construction is fully completed. Now, the Colombo Stock Exchange maintained positive momentum today as a result of price gains in counters such as ACL Cables, Central Finance Company and Dialog Asiata. The benchmark ASPI gained 0.60% to close at 23,956.51, while the Mulliquid S&P Sri Lanka 20 increased by 0.48% to end the day at 6,649.50. Market turnover was 10 billion rupees. Foreign participation in market activity remained at subdued levels, with foreigners closing as net sellers offloading shares worth 82 million rupees. And now here's a look at today's exchange rates. That's all the news we have for you tonight. Thank you. Have a great night.